Hey everyone, welcome back to GeoHub. Today we're diving into a mind-bending thought experiment. What would happen if Earth suddenly stopped spinning? Buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. First, let's set the stage. Earth spins at a speed of about 1,670 kilometers per hour, or 1,037 miles per hour at the equator. This rotation is crucial for many aspects of life as we know it. But what if one day it just stopped? If Earth stopped spinning suddenly, the consequences would be catastrophic. Everything not anchored to bedrock would be hurled eastward at high speeds. Imagine cars, buildings, and even people being flung across the landscape. It would be a disaster of unimaginable proportions. The atmosphere would continue moving at the original rotational speed, creating supersonic winds that would scour the surface, causing massive destruction. These winds would be strong enough to flatten forests, erode mountains, and create massive dust storms. Next, let's talk about day and night. Without rotation, one side of the Earth would face the sun continuously, while the other side would be in perpetual darkness. This would lead to extreme temperature differences, with one side scorching hot and the other freezing cold. Our circadian rhythms would be thrown into chaos, and the concept of a 24-hour day would be a thing of the past. The side facing the sun would experience constant daylight, leading to extreme heat and drought conditions. Meanwhile, the dark side would be plunged into an eternal night, resulting in freezing temperatures and ice formation. The oceans would also be dramatically affected. Water would start moving towards the poles, causing massive flooding in some areas and exposing the seafloor in others. Coastal cities would be submerged, and new landmasses would emerge. This redistribution of water would trigger tsunamis and massive storms, further adding to the chaos. The equatorial regions would become dry and barren, while the polar regions would be inundated with water, creating new seas and altering global weather patterns. Life on Earth would struggle to adapt. Plants and animals that rely on the day-night cycle would face extinction. Human infrastructure would be devastated, and society as we know it would collapse. But it's not all doom and gloom. Over time, Earth would start to stabilize. The atmosphere would settle, and new weather patterns would emerge. Life, in some form, would find a way to adapt. In the long term, Earth's magnetic field would disappear, leaving us vulnerable to solar radiation. This would have profound effects on our climate and could make the planet uninhabitable. Without the magnetic field, solar winds would strip away our atmosphere, leading to a loss of breathable air and protection from harmful solar radiation. This would drastically alter the climate, potentially making Earth more like Mars. Geologically, the lack of rotation would affect tectonic activity. The redistribution of mass could trigger earthquakes and volcanic eruptions as the Earth's crust adjusts to the new equilibrium. These geological changes would reshape the continents and create new mountain ranges and ocean basins. The landscape of Earth would be unrecognizable. Humans, if they survived the initial chaos, would have to adapt to a new way of life. We would need to develop new technologies to cope with the extreme conditions, such as advanced shelters and sustainable food sources. Communities would likely migrate towards the twilight zones, the areas between the scorching day side and the freezing night side, where conditions might be more tolerable. Agriculture would face unprecedented challenges. Crops that rely on specific light and temperature conditions would struggle to survive. Farmers would need to develop new methods of cultivation, possibly relying on artificial environments to grow food. Indoor farming and hydroponics could become essential for food production. These methods would allow us to control the environment and ensure a stable food supply despite the harsh external conditions. Wildlife would also be severely impacted. Species that depend on the day-night cycle for hunting, mating, and migration would face extinction. Ecosystems would be thrown into disarray, and biodiversity would plummet. Conservation efforts would need to focus on creating protected areas where species could adapt to the new conditions. This might involve relocating animals to more suitable habitats or even creating artificial environments to support endangered species. The social and economic impact would be immense. Cities and infrastructure would be destroyed, leading to a breakdown of social order. Governments would need to implement emergency measures to maintain stability and support affected populations. Economies would need to adapt to the new reality. Industries that rely on stable environmental conditions, such as agriculture and tourism, would face significant challenges. New industries focused on survival and adaptation would emerge. Technological innovations would be crucial for survival. Advances in renewable energy, climate control, and sustainable living would become essential. Humanity's ability to innovate and adapt would be put to the ultimate test. We might see the development of new energy sources, such as advanced solar and geothermal power, to cope with the changing environment. Innovations in construction and material science would help us build resilient infrastructure. The psychological impact on humans would also be significant. The loss of familiar day-night cycles and the extreme environmental conditions would take a toll on mental health. Communities would need to support each other and find ways to maintain morale. Mental health services would become a critical part of society, as they should anyway, helping people cope with the new reality. Social cohesion and community support would be more important than ever. Culturally, societies would undergo significant changes. Traditional ways of life would be disrupted, and new cultural norms would emerge. Art, literature, and music might reflect the new reality. Religious and philosophical beliefs might also evolve, as people seek to understand and cope with the drastic changes to their world. Communities might come together in new ways, finding strength in shared experiences and collective efforts to rebuild. Scientific research would play a crucial role in understanding and adapting to the new conditions. Scientists would study the changes in climate, geology, and biology to develop strategies for survival and adaptation. Space exploration might become even more important as humanity looks to other planets and moons for potential new homes. The challenges of a non-rotating Earth could drive innovation and collaboration in ways we can't yet imagine. Global cooperation would be essential for survival. Countries would need to work together to share resources, knowledge, and technology. International organizations might play a key role in coordinating efforts and providing support to affected regions. The challenges of a non-rotating Earth could bring humanity closer together, fostering a sense of global unity and shared purpose. We would need to overcome differences and work collectively to ensure the survival of our species. So while it's fascinating to think about, let's be grateful that Earth keeps on spinning. It's this rotation that makes life possible and keeps our planet in balance. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mind-blowing content. See you next time.